Do you remember that small cutting that I took off my big Swedish Ivy months and months ago? And I rooted it just in a glass ball and put it in my bedroom window. Well, this cutting has grown into a giant plant. So I am getting ready to give it a new home. So join me while we repot it. And my daughter gets a new plant. Today's the morning. We're going to get this Swedish Ivy transplanted into a new dish for my daughter's bedroom. This is that small cutting that I did on a previous video, and it has grown huge in my window. So I've taken it down. We're going to put it in another pot for my daughter's bedroom. And this is the pot she's chosen. I think that's going to be a perfect fit, and that'll work out just right. So let me get it out of the hanger that it was in. Try to be as gentle as possible to these long strands. But if any should break off, I know that I could root them very easily. I need to keep track of that top. Lift this one through. And it looks like there we go. Now we'll just put this up. It's a triple. Is that the triple? No, that's the double that I have for the window. But we'll put that up. So here we go. It's going to fill this one nicely. And it was only just a tip cutting several months ago. So let's get started. Okay, I've got the soil dug out of here a little bit. And then let me try to get the Swedish Ivy out of its glass bowl. And you can see how that's grown. There's a lot of roots for me to have to pull out of there. But you can see how you can observe in this glass bowl with no drainage. You can see the moisture level. You can tell if it's watered well, underwatered, overwatered. And these do take quite a bit of water. So let me get it pulled out of there. And we will get it planted. I'm going to have to work the soil ball. I've got it pretty dry right now. So let me turn that around. I'm just going to work that soil ball. And then just try to gently work it out of the ball. Been transplanting a lot of my plants that are in the balls. And so it's just a bit of a struggle. There it comes. Look. It's tearing a few of the roots, but this plant will recover nicely. Now, I don't know if I'm going to need any of that soil, but you can see it's nice and dry. I left it dry so it wouldn't be too horrible to get out of there. But that's what we look. You're seeing the reflection of the early morning sun about to come up over the trees over there. Okay, Now, let's move this back into the middle. I'll put this behind me. And let's get it planted. Okay. Here we go. Now this is the root ball I have. And I'm just going to kind of put it over, right over into the soil. And I did bring a scoop. Here we go. You can see all of that just filling up around that original root ball. And we'll get some of the native soil from the circle so that we can put it back into the same plant. And here we go. Okay, let me turn it just a little bit to the side. Let me get under there. And put more soil in. There we go. Now I think maybe this third, whoops, perhaps needs a little. There we go. Now let me give it a smush to steady it, technical term. And I think that's gonna work out. There. Now it'll just take just a little bit of time to adjust to the curvatures of the ball and get itself adjusted to this one. But I think that looks really good. See, mine hung in the window and it reached to one side. But this one we can rotate and it will eventually just come out and be the exact right amount. Okay, well that looks good. I'm gonna give it a good soaking since everything is so dry. And there we are. Looks very, very good. Nice, glossy, healthy leaf. And again, these are a sort of a succulent type plant because they plump up and hold a lot of water in those thick leaves. But I think this is going to make an excellent planter. Let me give it a swivel. Okay, I think that looks real good. Got a lot of planting to do out here, a lot. But from this Swedish Ivy mama, one little slip of a cutting, and you've got a magnificent plant like this. I think it's gorgeous. My daughter's gonna love it. But let me get her watered, and we'll get her inside to her new home.